Yo, how's it going? It's Sunday. Okay, so the skipper workout. I don't think I've ever told it. Okay, so it's a 3-day cycle. You repeat it twice, take a day off, and it is chest and triceps, back and biceps, legs and abs. Chest and triceps. Back and biceps, and legs and abs. I usually say that so fast. I've never said that twice out loud. I guess I'm just contemplating how crazy that sounds. And then, of course, you want to take a day off. You watch these bodybuilder things. This old boy, Lou Ferrigno, and another old boy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they both said that the gains are in the recovery. You know what I mean? But that's more of a show muscle thing. And then the other deal is there's such a thing as long and short fiber. So you might be juicing your stuff, you know, and getting all your macros into one shake and hammering it, breaking it down, whatever like that. But then, like, you want to eat an apple and just chew it. You know what I mean? With no processes, no processing or whatever like that. I like to do the avocado. I'm a big fan. I don't eat them as much now as I was because it's kind of out of season, I guess. And I like to do the seasonal foods in season to switch it up so I don't get stagnant in my foods. So your intakes and outputs kind of work out type of deal. And then back on the 75 hard, actually doing it this time. There's no room for failure. I'm not even going to say the word with a Q. It's like you don't say the C word as a driver. You don't say the C word around your wife or your mom either. Like, mom would really, she would punch you in the face like a man at the dinner table over the C word. But the C word in a commercial vehicle is related to accidents. So you don't say the C word. Anyway, so when you're being set apart for certain things, it might, it might be a long time of training, and then you're needed, and that specialty that was developed in you will come out in that moment, and you can trust that the Creator has you firmly in His hand. Number one, you're not getting more than you can handle. You're probably complaining too much. And then don't overlook the power of losing yourself in the job. Okay, now what I'm saying here is under traumatic, extreme conditions, stuff happens, and then it's just like, I'll deal with this later, and you compartmentalize, and then later comes, and you're like freaking out, short-tempered and everything, and you don't know why. You know what I mean? It's like, you're disgruntled. And it's a buildup of things you didn't deal with for the last 37 years. So, being a functional alcoholic is still an alcoholic. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're gonna quit being an alcoholic, you're gonna find that you got all these problems that drove you to drinking to begin with. And when you quit drinking, the slap in the face is, I don't have an excuse for my bad behavior anymore. And then it's like, oh wow, here's all these things that's been shelved that I got to deal with. And I think that's a human condition that continues throughout. So if we look into the Bible, into what what it says about that, you know. Bloop our little device over here and, you know, think of specific questions I can ask about that topic, right? And then where does the Bible say dealing with post-traumatic stress syndrome? You know, where does the Bible, what does the Bible say that David did after he was chased by the king and all his men? You know, various things. How did Gideon deal with his dad the day after he tore down the pole? You know, and you'll see these various things where you can find similar conditions to what you're going through in the Bible because it's all in there. And you can see how those people attempted to go about ways, see their victories, see their failure, and study on that and ponder the things. And I don't know how it works. I really do not know. But I tell you right now, that Bible, I mean, if you get it in Revelation, it says the tree of life is beside the river of life. There's a river of life, trees on either side, and the leaves are for the healing of the nations. And I'm like, the river of life is in my belly, and then I'm reading the Bible, which is, you know, like the tree of life. You know, we're grafted in through Jesus' blood. That's, you know, I don't want to get all sappy on you here, but it's kind of like the sap, you know, the love. Oh, maybe that's why they call it sappy. Wow, I just figured to put that together. Anyway, it's easy to connect dots that might not be there if you're from the big C Christians. And then like, maybe that really is where it comes from. Who knows? It's a cool concept. Right or wrong, it seems good. Anyway, so the pages of the Bible are the leaves of the tree for healing us. And it's for all nations. It doesn't matter. There's no respecter of persons. Your bloodline lineage is, it's a thing, you know, and you want to honor your parents and stuff like that. And there's generational giftings and all this other kind of stuff that's, you know, to be recognized. But then there's also the whole, I'm grafted in to this tree of life. I'm grafted into the kinfolk. You know what I mean? Type of deal. So, when you see the real, the really real people that are like, this is really what it says. So you got like a literal translation, and then you got like a spiritual translation, and then there's like, you know, these other things. It's like, well, is it this or is it that? You know, and a lot of times it's this and that and like 13 other things. And you know that's true because you read it and you remembered it, and then you talked to somebody and you brought it up and you read it to them, and it was a little different than the first time. So lean not on your own understanding is a direct reference to when I was at this age and stage of life, this scripture had this impact, and now at this different age and stage of life, I can see a deeper wisdom. I can take this a different way. I've learned some more, you know, Hebrew jargon or whatever, you know what I mean? So for me to say that I'm the authority on, you know, 1 John chapter 2 verse 9 or whatever, I have no idea what that is. Just random off my head. To think I'm the ultimate authority in any Bible verse, and there's no other possibility, I would call that closed mind, right? So like I can stand on what I know it meant for me and what it did for me in this age and stage, and I can give a testimony on that and how it helped me and how it showed me this over here and that's that, whatever. And then I can read it again and say, hey, today this living word is affecting me at this age and stage. You know, I might be hard-nosed, just standing on it. By God, you know, just by God, let me tell you, son, and be right. And 6 years later, read it again and be like, well, yes, that is true, and I'm still standing here. But this, you know, spiritual side and kind of sappy love of God is real and in this thing as well. You know what I mean? They say something about, I've heard it said, a person's as smart and a person is at their height of intelligence when they're around 15 years old. Because they think they know everything. And then somewhere around 22-ish, you start really figuring out that you don't know squat. And then from there, you just continue to expand into how much you don't know as your wisdom increases. Like you're literally 5 times through your experience growing in your actual knowledge. But your concept of do I know it all will get less and less and less with the more that you learn. And that's maturity versus, you know, are you working hard or are you taking it hard? You know what I mean? So, you know, being salt of the world, I'm going to tell you to read the Bible and take it with a grain of salt. And when you've got somebody explaining something to you and they're not what you're used to, maybe you should hear them out. And by God, hold on to what you got. Go ahead and eat the grass and spit the sticks out along the way. And be open to the possibility that you don't know everything. Because you don't. I mean, like, you don't know everything, right? So, you know, have a little joy, because that's your strength. You know what I mean? And have your convictions, sure. You know, I seen a guy today talk about Abram. He's going into Egypt, and he's like, I'm going to tell him that my wife is my sister. So that's obviously a lie. You know, don't bear false witness, don't lie, is a, you know, thing. Hey, that could, you know, Abram, I mean, he's like the guy, right? Started off the Hebrews. But here's this, for instance, or whatever, and I was able to type into the chat something about we're called to walk blamelessly. Because, like, and that just stuck in my head. Right as the guys reading it, I was like, well, I can't blame him. If I thought I was going to die and everything like that, they were going to take, you know, my wife, you know what I mean? I might try to squirrel out. I mean, like, I can understand where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Like, is it sin to lie? Yes. You know, is there a time and a place for everything? Sure. But in this reality, we can clearly see where this guy sinned. And he was the patriarch of the kinfolk. So, you're not going to get it right all the time. And, you know, maybe you ought to take it easy on that guy that's sinning against you. Because God forgives us the way we forgive others. You know. Don't get me wrong, kick his ass if he needs it. But you can forgive him after the fact. Or whatever. Whatever's appropriate, you know. But what I typed in there was walk blamelessly. We're not called to walk perfectly. And I found a deal with 613 laws. And it's a YouTube video where the guy's reading them. And I've been going through it. And yeah, there was a lot of when you make this mistake, this is the sacrifice and how to go about it, right? And because we're spoiled brats, you know, we got the atonement from the good Lord. Hang on a second, got this fuel thing. Fuel, there we go, get fuel. I gotta get off here. Because we got the blood of Jesus, and everybody's so spiritual, they don't really realize how many goats and pigeons have been killed to atone for sin. How much sprinkling of blood? I mean, if we went to the Methodist church, got up on stage, piled some rocks, pulled the head off a pigeon, sprinkled the blood around, a lot of people would be upset. A lot of people wouldn't understand. Yeah. Oh man, but maybe with Halloween coming up, you could do a little biblical explanation with some visuals. You know, 'tis the season. You know, hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy wing. You know, pull the head off a pigeon. You know what I mean? Have the kids over. You know what I'm saying? And be like, the old stuff was like this, and just yank the head off a pigeon, sprinkle the blood, and like let them see what that really looked like, so they can understand more about the atonement that Jesus gave for us, so they don't take it for granted. You know, maybe that's a thing we could do for Halloween. Like, what better time? You know what I mean? I mean, like, maybe that's blending religions. I don't know. Might hurt some stomachs. I don't know. It seems better than candy. It's a teachable moment and all that. So, you know, go ahead. You know, get you a pumpkin. Pull the head off of a pigeon. Yeah, maybe get a fake pigeon. Pull its head off and just squeeze ketchup everywhere. Squirt them with it. I don't know. Anyway, well, this is taking on a whole new life. Love on each other. Call a spade, sure. But like, lighten up. You know what I'm saying? You know, when it's time to put boot to ass, bury that sucker. I mean, just let them fart between their shoulder blades. You know what I mean? Build a boot shop in their ass if that's what you're doing. But I mean, love on them if you're loving. You know what I'm saying? And forgive them when they've made amends. Right? Okay. Raquel, go get them.